So you're sat on the fence about taking a break from alcohol. You've been thinking about it. You're not too sure. You're worrying about what other people think. Maybe you've taken a break before and it lasted 2, 3 weeks and you started drinking again. You may have done attempts to go sober, to take a break from alcohol, and you end up picking up the drink again. And you're curious, you're sober curious, you're not too sure what to do, and you're sat on this fence. You are not alone. Trust me. There are so many people that are sat in this position, including me. I'm over seven, where am I now? Over 7.5 years alcohol free. And back then, I was the same. I had to look around. I knew I needed to stop drinking, but I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know who to follow. I didn't know who to speak to. I couldn't even speak to my partner about it. I would definitely not speak to my friends about it because everyone was drinking. And I get it. I get it because I've been there. And also the hundreds, if not thousands, of people that we've helped through A Game take a break from alcohol and stop drinking to improve their performance and everything else. It's the same for them. They sat on the fence for ages. Now, here's what you do. Grab a piece of paper and start to write down all of your concerns. So write down what are your concerns about stopping drinking and taking a break from alcohol and start to write them all down. It's going to be, I already know what they are. It's going to be things like, what are my friends going to be thinking? What are my family going to be thinking? How am I going to have fun? How am I going to take my clients out? What are people going to think of me? Are people going to be think that I'm boring? Am I going to become a recluse? How do I unwind? What if it's a stressful day at work or in the business? And how do I unwind? Because I normally unwind having a drink. How do I go out for a meal? How do I go to a wedding? How do I dance sober? How do I have a conversation with people that they're all drinking and I'm not drinking? These are all the things that are probably going to go on your list. Now, the first ones about what other people are thinking, this is your thought, not their thought. So that's usually the number one reason why people do not stop drinking alcohol or take a break from alcohol when they know that they need to stop drinking, not out of a place of addiction, but they know it's affecting their performance, it's affecting their sleep, it's affecting their relationships, it's making them stressed, it's making them anxious, and it's affecting their business output, their performance in work, and they know they need to stop. But this is the number one fear. You're worrying about what other people think. That worry that you have about other people, and like I said, this happened to me, this happened to thousands of people, the hundreds of people that we've helped. It's not their thought. It's your thought. You're creating that thought in your mind. And what happens when you do that is it creates unnecessary stress. So the thought that you're thinking about John or your wife or whoever about taking this break from alcohol, oh, geez, I can't do that because we're going out this weekend and how am I going to do this and what's she going to be thinking of me and he's going to be thinking. They're your thoughts. They're your thoughts of what you think that they're thinking, but you have no idea what they're thinking. So you can absolutely care what other people think, but you've got no idea. And even if they tell you what they're thinking, they could be lying anyway. So this whole thing about worrying what other people think, even if it's related to going alcohol free or if it's starting the diet or whatever it is, and you're worrying about what other people think, it's completely pointless because it's your thought. You're creating the thought in your mind. You're doing it, not them. So the one thing that can help with this here is some meditation, some breathing exercises, and just focusing on the breath. That can really help, and some mindfulness. If you're wanting to know how to do that, then I'll link another video underneath about how you can get started with that. But that can help because that's what when those thoughts are coming in and you're worrying about what other people are thinking, what it's doing is it's pulling you outside of the present moment. That's what it's doing. So the reason why most people suffering in their minds is because they're not here in the here and now. They're worrying, they're concerned about the future, they're in the past, they're in the future, they're just not here. That's why. So that's that one. The next one is how you're going to be around people. Now, again, this is very common because you are so used to having the drink in your hand. Let's just get this bottle out. Let's just say this is alcohol. You are so used to going out and meeting your friends or having a beer, after work or whenever, or when you go out with your partner, and you're so used to having this drink in your hand. And the reason being is it's part of your identity. You say it in your dialogue, in your words, and I could murder a drink. Your friends say it, your family say it. So a lot of your social activity and your everyday behaviors and language is all in the drink. And that's why you're fearing. Because when you take a break from alcohol and you stop drinking, part of your identity goes. The identity which is attached to the alcohol, to the drink, goes. But then you start to create a new identity, which is really, really exciting. Because the new identity, there's not going to be a drink, a drug holding you back, creating a mask. You're not showing up your authentic self. You start to set other goals. You start to focus more on health and maybe a bit more in business. And you start to focus more on self-development instead of being involved in the drink too much. And then what starts to happen is you may start to invite some different people into your life, other people that will sober. Another worry is about losing friends and becoming a recluse and becoming boring and having that thought. Look, out of personal experience here, and again with the hundreds, if not thousands of people that we've helped, yes, you won't lose your friends. You will lose your drinking buddies. There's a big difference. You've got drinking buddies and you've got your friends. So when you look at your friends, I did this exercise a while ago. I wrote down who I thought people were my friends, and I wrote the names down. And I sat there and I thought, out of all these people, who could I invite to Starbucks or the coffee shop on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock and talk about self-development, talk about business, talk about life, and not talk about birds, pints, and football? Do you know how many people are on that list? 2. And those 2 people I'm still friends with now. Now, the acquaintances and people that I lost when I went alcohol free, they're not bad people. They are fantastic people. They're great. But the path that I was going on, the journey that I was going on, and this is very common when people go alcohol free, is again, they start to look into health, they start to look into fitness and everything else. The people that are really friends with, are friends with you, will come with you. They'll support you. They'll pat you on the back. And usually what happens is, and I've seen this hundreds of times, is if you're the person, your circle of friends who decides to stop drinking, a few people are going to do the exact same thing. So if you sat on the fence, you can carry on sitting on that fence and nothing's going to change. And you'll keep sitting on the fence about going alcohol free or to keep drinking until the pain outruns the pleasure. I've seen this hundreds of times as well. People come to us, say, yeah, I'm ready to take a break from alcohol, I'm ready to improve my performance, I'm ready to do some coaching, let's go. And they bottle it up. They're not ready. They've not had enough pain. So until you've had enough pain, well, then you take the decision. Until then, you're just going to keep doing it, keep doing the same behavior. Yeah, you might, have a few weeks break from alcohol, but for you to have that long stint and go for it and decide that you're going to be alcohol free and start to reap all the benefits of being alcohol free, less stress, less anxiety, more energy, better relationships, mental clarity, focus and energy, more money, all those benefits that come with being alcohol free. When you start to reap all those benefits, you'll realize all this worry and all this, what you're doing right now, just sat on the fence worrying about it, was all irrelevant. It was all pointless. So take the action, make the decision, and let's go.